Look at your priorities, at least for the next 12 weeks, and then don't just wish it, lock it down, put it into your calendar. You can't make more happen than what fits in your schedule. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Brand new week here on the show. Excited to get into our Motivation and Mindset Monday. Every single year, I love to be able to bring you a variation of the 12-week year. Now, this is a system I'm going to be teaching you about that I've been using now for maybe a decade. I actually don't know the exact date that this started, but when I did start it, it absolutely changed my life and how I was able to accomplish more in less time without any more effort. And I want to share with you how it's really evolved over the last decade or so and what I typically do right now, as well as what I teach my private wellness clients to do too. So we're going to dive right into the show. I remember when I first started goal setting, all I did was choose one big goal for the new year, like many people. But I know now that that is not the best way to go about setting your goals. And the reason is that all of your success hinges on one big outcome. I want to lose 60 pounds. I want to get the new job. I want to become, let's just say, a certified health coach. I want to find the right person for me, all of those things. So you're focused on one big outcome. Here's the issue. You set your whole year around that. But what if you don't achieve it? And even if you do, what you don't know how to do is go about structuring it in order to achieve that. Meaning, like, why would the goal be to lose 60 pounds when really in order to be able to lose 60 pounds, you need to lose 5 pounds the first month, 5 pounds the second month, 5 pounds the third, right? You need to be able to lose the weight every single month. So why would you not set the goal to be, instead of lose 60 pounds, yeah, you can absolutely do that. But why can't the goal be to lose 5 pounds every month on average? And then over the course of the year, then you lose 60 pounds. You are much more likely to not only achieve that goal, but stick with it. Now, I know the outcome either way is to lose 60 pounds, but setting a realistic goal of losing 5 pounds per month, now you can track it. 1.25 pounds a week or so, right? Or 1 pound over the course of 52 weeks. So when we look at that, well, it's a little bit more, but you know what I'm getting at. That is a way of how to and how not to set a goal. Don't just set it on the individual outcome. Set it on the disciplines that you need to achieve, or smaller outcomes, which I'm going to get to in just a moment, that will ultimately lead to your big goal. All right, so I used to do that, no longer. I don't teach my clients to do it. I don't recommend that you do either. Too much stress on just one big goal. Okay, so next, this is going back some time as well. I did something called the 100-day challenge. Now, remember, the pendulum always swings all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. So I said, okay, well, if setting one big goal every January 1st isn't the way to do it, maybe in order to get further ahead in all of the areas of my life, I need to do the 100-day challenge. So I need to accomplish 100 goals in just 100 days. And so I would literally type out all 100 goals I would have. I would put it in like 3 columns on an 8.5 by 11, and I would have these little check boxes. And I got really excited about that. And I would try that, and I would get like 80 something out of the 100. So at the end of the day, you say like, well, I didn't reach all 100 in 100 days. On the other hand, you could say, well, I achieved 80 something. But the truth is that these are not true goals. These are basically to-dos. So 100 goals and a 100-day challenge. Is it worthwhile to do? If you've got a lot of to-dos you've been putting off forever, then yes. But it's not really goal achievement, I would say. It's more task-oriented. So what I would do is every single day I would look at the list and just say, okay, what can I tackle? What can I knock off? What can I do? And all of those things are good. They're little mini goals that can lead you further forward in life. So I liked it because I got in the habit of accelerating my to-do list. But all of those things in the to-do list might be like, write an article like that. Like it could be like random things, or go out to dinner, with my wife, like any of those things. It could be anything like that. So it's like, okay, yeah, all of those things are really good and they stay in front of you and you stay really focused. But there's also a lot of burnout to try to accomplish 100 things in 100 days. Overall, if you've never done it before, not a bad idea. Really gets you motivated. You can bang out a lot of those tasks that you've been meaning to do for maybe years. So not against it, but I no longer use that. Okay, so then next, about 10 years ago or so, I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 10 years, I settled in on the 12-week year. Now, I was doing this for many years, but not to perfection. I really wasn't. Then I read a book by Brian Moran called The 12-Week Year. Lo and behold, he more crystallized, and I've had him on the show, so we can link up his podcast interview that I did with him, the writer, the author of The 12-Week Year. And I'll link that up today at stephencabral.com/2880. So we'll link up that interview for you. But I've been using that for many years, and then I crystallized it a bit more with him. And I've done that show now. I've actually given that and refined that 3 times. So I'm going to also link up those shows for you because I can't recommend that system enough. Again, I'll link those up at stephencabral.com/2880. But here's what it comes down to. You get a big 12-month year calendar. I've talked about that many times. Highly recommend it. I've been using that now for a decade. There's one on my wall right beside me right there. And there's my 2024 right here on my desk folded up. And it comes out to be about a 2-foot by 3-foot big calendar. I can travel with it. I can pop it back up on the wall with just some putty, and I'm good to go. It has all of my important dates for travel, for big family-based things, anything like that is all on the calendar. And then I set one big goal essentially per month. But let's break this down a little bit more. The 12-week year basically is this. It's trying to live 4 years for everyone. Now, not in terms of overwhelm or anxiety, etc. It's just saying whatever you wanted to do before in a year, can you condense it to be done in 12 weeks? And if not, well, what can you do in 12 weeks in order to move you that much further faster? Why this became really important to me is I would realize with most of my clients, myself as well, is when October, November started to roll around and be like, whoa, I had these goals for this year. I either started them and stopped them, or I just kind of put them by the wayside. Now I need to accomplish all of them within the next 6 weeks to 8 weeks, right? So it's like the 12-week year forces you to do what's manageable in 12 weeks now, take a week break, and then set up your next 12 weeks. But really what it is it's taking that, let's say, 60-pound weight loss goal or whatever it might be, the health coach certification, and saying, I can't lose all 60 most likely in 12 weeks. What can I do in the first 12 weeks on the way to those bigger goals? So how I used that was I said to myself, okay, what needs priority right now? I've got my family relationships. I've got my health. I've got my body transformation. I've got my spirituality. I've got career. Like which one of those needs a little bit more focus? And I would take a couple of those, which I'm going to teach you in the last one, which I'm doing right now. And that's where I would spend my focus. Like that's the big goals that I would set for the year. So for like a health coach, yeah, you can actually become a level 1 IHP certified integrative health practitioner certified health coach in 12 weeks. And then you can actually become a level 2 certified coach and use at-home labs with yourself, your family, or create your own practice in another 12 weeks. So that's 6 months. And then you can say, okay, in the next 12 weeks after that, I'm going to actually be creating my own business and begin to work with clients. So like you can plan out your whole year. And then you say, oh, if I get behind in a week, not a problem. I'm going to catch up the next week because I've got 12 weeks to complete level 1, right? So that's how you would use this. Now, that's always how I use the 12-week year. I have other podcasts that go in depth on that, and I'm going to link them up for you here today. But what I wanted to share was my newest methodology that takes the 12-week year and really moves into life mastery. And it removes any of the setting goals but not accomplishing them. And I have a previous podcast that I also want to link up. So I've got a lot of previous podcasts that I would love you to listen to. This one is called Throw Away Your To-Do List and Do This Instead. It's a whole show on this. But I'm going to adapt it right now for New Year's goals. And you can set this for every quarter. That's the nice thing about the 12-week year is you reassess how the last 3 months went at the end of every 3 months. And I do that to this day. I always do that. And I say, hey, the goals that I set for myself, did I achieve them? And if the answer is no, I ask myself, was it because it's not a priority, not important? Sometimes the answer is yes. Other things came up that were a bigger priority. The other part with the 12-week year is you're going to know right away, because you don't just say, what can I accomplish in 12 weeks? Because then you take your 12 weeks, you break it down to goals each month that lead to the 12-week goal. And then you take that month and you break it down to weeks, because you've got 4 of those. And then you take the week and you break it down to your days. So it's amazingly simple. Now, my life mastery version is this. Really, I mean, this is a huge part of just understanding that you can only accomplish so much. So it's using that Occam's razor to figure out what will move the needle the most for you, that matters the most to you, and is the greatest priority. So now what I have my clients do, and I want to share with you, is just write down 5 goals for the year, or a 12-week year maximum. But rank them in order from level 1, or not from level 1, but 1 being the most important, down to 5, right? So just set them whatever they are. Now there's one more step to this. It's go to your calendar on iCal or whatever you like to use, and actually now schedule what it is that you need to do on a daily basis, if it's daily. If not, schedule it when it is, into your calendar in order to reach that 12-week year goal. So for example, going back to the 60-pound weight loss, if you don't have 30 minutes in your daily, at least 5 days a week calendar for exercise or movement, ideally 60 minutes, then how locked in are we on that goal? If you don't have 30 minutes of meal prep to start your day or end your day for the next day as part of that 60-pound weight loss goal, again, how locked in are we actually on achieving that goal? It needs to be in your schedule. It's nice to know that you need to do it. It's helpful. But scheduling it and following a schedule virtually guarantees you're going to get it done. The other reason why I really like this is that you now don't have to put your mind into willpower. You opened up your schedule, your planner, whatever it is, and you just follow the plan for the day. That's what I do. I try to take my mind out of it. I say, okay, at this time I have this meeting. At this time I'm doing this. At this time I have exercise. At this time I eat lunch. And I know that seems super regimented to a lot of people, and that's okay if it doesn't fit your life. But for me, I want to accomplish a certain amount of things. And in order for me to be able to do that, I can't just wish it. I can't just hope it happens. I can't even just write it down as part of my 12-week year goal. And even what happened in the day, I need to schedule it into my day. Because if it doesn't get scheduled, it doesn't get done. That's what I found. The other big thing is this. You can only fit so much in your calendar. So I can't overschedule more than I have time for the day, right? So if I start work, let's just say at 7:30 a.m. or 8 a.m., whatever I want it to be, okay? And then I give myself until lunch, okay? That's what I can fit in. And then after lunch, this is what I can fit in before my workout time. And then before my family dinner time, and then my family activities. It's like, that's what can get done. And the same for my exercise. Unless I'm willing to work less hours, unless I'm willing to, then I can't get in as much of those other things that I want. So could it go somewhere else? Could it go at night? Could it go on the weekend? So what I want you to realize is look at your priorities, at least for the next 12 weeks, and then don't just wish it. Lock it down. Put it into your calendar for number 1. So schedule the number 1 priority. Now, if there's any room left in your day or your week, then you move on to number 2. What's the next biggest priority? Then after that, you move on to number 3. And you might realize after number 3, there's no more time in the day or week to realistically do more. That might be it. That's okay. Let's just go back to a couple examples we were using. A lot of people, they want to lose weight for the new year. Totally get it. Totally understand. It's a fine goal. Nothing wrong with that. So now you might say, okay, yeah, I'm going to start waking up at 6 a.m. And for the first 90 minutes of my day, I'm going to exercise and meal prep. Great use of your time, right? First 90 minutes of the day. That's locked down. You might say, and I've got another goal. I want to move from being an accountant to a health coach and have a virtual practice and work with people, over video and consulting like that. Great. So you might say you don't have any more time in the morning because you just exercise and meal prep from 6 to 7:30. You got ready in a half hour or so. You got to work, did whatever you need to do. But you might say at lunchtime, you get an hour off. Okay, so for 30 minutes out of that lunch period, you're going to be studying your online health coaching certification. Good. Or you might say to end the day, you're going to do 30 minutes from 8:30 to 9 every single night. And that's what you're going to do. And you're going to finish that in 12 weeks, right? So it's just scheduling, right? You can't make more happen, even though we all want to make more, than what fits in your schedule, than what's realistic. So what I'm saying to you is use the 12-week year. Love it. You should absolutely do that, right? But now let's make it realistic. Let's master our life. Let's master our schedule. Let's not ask ourselves to do more than we can possibly do. So then you start to look at your schedule and say, do I really need to be doing this? Am I wasting time? Am I on social media too much? Am I, doing this, that, and the other thing? And the answer might be yes. So now you can start to carve back a half hour or an hour of your day. And I also have a podcast on that called The Missing 6 Hours of the Day. So we're going to keep it at that for today. I would love for you to let me know what you thought about this in the comments. If you'd like me to do a follow-up, happy to do that. And what are your questions? All right. You can leave all of that and get all of the previous podcasts at StephenCabral.com/2880. And of course, do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.